This is what it is to live a day in the life of Mandy Gonzalez. I get on the train and then I head into Broadway. I get to the stage door, I sign in, I warm up, I do a physical warm up, a vocal warm up. I put my makeup on, I get my hair ready, I put my wig on, I get the dress on, I do the show, and then I take it all off, I change, I go and I sign autographs for people outside. I get into the car and I go home and I crash. And then I get up again and I start all over again.
Mandy Gonzalez landed her first professional gig as a backing vocalist for Bette Midler. The California native went on to work on Broadway, playing Nina Rosario in the Tony Award-winning musical In the Heights, Elphaba in Wicked, and later as Angelica Schuyler in the smash hit Hamilton. She's also acted in movies, on TV shows, and she's released a solo album. This is How She Got Here.
I knew I wanted to be an actress when I was 14, and the singing teacher that I had me audition for a theater camp. And the teachers that we had were Gregory Hines, Treat Williams. We had people that were doing it. After I graduated high school, my singing teacher said that Bette Midler was looking for new harlots and would I like to go to the open call. I was at that time at Cal Arts and I got the job. I went on the road and I knew after that tour that this is what I wanted to do. And so I didn't go back to school.
Mandy took a chance by dropping out of college to tour with Bette Midler. She took another chance when she decided to move from LA to New York City to make it on Broadway. But taking chances and saying yes to opportunity is something that Mandy would go on to do throughout her career.
I moved to New York from Los Angeles because I wanted to be on Broadway. When I started in the business, I was 19. And I got my first agent. They felt that my last name being Gonzalez would hinder me from getting roles. And I came up with a name, Mandy Carr, because I just so wanted to be a part of that world. And when I went to sign my contract, I thought of my abuelita, and I thought of my father, and I thought of my grandparents who came to this country and worked as migrants in the fields. And I told that agent that I am Mandy Gonzalez with two Z's. I feel like that was the first time that I truly learned about integrity. And as a Latina, how to never forget where you come from. My first original Broadway show was a show opposite Michael Crawford called Dance of the Vampires. And when I got the call from my agent that I got that job, I dropped to my knees crying. And I called my mom, I called everybody. I said, I made it, this is it. I'm a Broadway star. And then the show opened. The reviews were terrible. I remember the critic wrote, Mandy Gonzalez is lacking in acting, singing, and looks. And I cried. And I think it hurt me so much because it brought up so many things from my past of not belonging, not looking a certain way, not being light enough, not being dark enough, always being in between. Growing up as a Mexican Jewish American, I just felt like I didn't want to be different. And when I got to the theater and I thought of my grandparents as well as my father. I thought, I am not going to be somebody that walks with my head down. You can say these things about me, but I'm gonna walk with my head up.
We can be fearless, we can try to change the world, and when we fall, begin again, check in again. I know that you and I can do it all.
I think my favorite role out of everything I've done is Nina Rosario in the Heights. It was the first time that I met Lin-Manuel and Tommy Kail and Alex Lacamoire. And at that time, I had already done 3 Broadway shows. I got a phone call from Tommy Kail, and he said, "You want to come play Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton?" And I said, "Yes."
Mandy isn't slowing down. Now she's set to join the cast in a new staging of The Who's Tommy at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
I think it's about just saying yes and beginning the journey, and know that your journey is going to take you places that you didn't think you should go, but follow your heart. The quote that my mother said was, "Traveler, there is no trail. The path is made by walking." I think it's about surrounding yourself, not with naysayers, but with people that are going to elevate you to be your best self.
I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties of sorrow. For the first time I'm thinking past tomorrow.
I think the untold secret about Broadway is that it's a job. It's a dream, but it's also very, very hard work. And if this is something that you want to do, you've got to be willing to give everything. Because there's things that you're going to miss, like birthday parties, family reunions, funerals. And so you have to love it. Because some days on that 8th show, you're tired. But when I get to my job, they call it like Dr. Broadway. Right before you hit the stage, it's like, I love this.